Hello and namaste. It's Jewel from Goddess Creative. Okay, I'm back here with a bit of a follow-up video because there's been some concerns. Obviously, there's a lot of concern, and I'm concerned myself and worry and stuff like that. So I want to try and assist there where I can. I don't even know where to start. All right. So there are no mistakes. If you're here, you're watching this, you're meant to be watching it for a purpose. There's something in it that's going to help you. It's going to assist you. I totally believe that. I totally believe the synchronicity of you being led to this channel or you're following my work, it's for a reason, and I just think it's sacred. And so this is part of your unfolding, your soul's unfolding, and furtherment, extension, growth. So I want to say that. I also wanted to say, if you've already had this thing, where are we? This. If you've already had this, all is not lost. Okay, I wanted to say that. So I wanted to talk about that and how to overcome it and get through it, even if your intention is to still go ahead. I think that's because in some countries it's going to be absolutely inevitable. It's just the freedom is not going to be there to possibly not. So I wanted to give some advice there. All right. So what I've been getting is, and I've just been meditating, and this is my focus at the moment because I think this is what Spirit wants me to focus on. So don't ask me about other, cryptocurrencies and the, I do realize, yes, and a lot of you already realize that some of those coins are going to be great to be in, but I can't focus on them at the moment because this is priority. Okay, so that's sort of where I'm at there. I do want to say your free will is everything, and it is with the spell casting, the words, and in media that they do the spell casting, and that by your unconscious approval and allowance of it to take place, you're giving permission for the spell binding that is happening. So just be very aware of that. You can break these even with intention by saying, I do not consent. It's as simple as that. And I've done videos. I think I did a video last year. I think it was last year, because I used to have up on my social media, I do not consent. So this is part of the breaking the binding, and even using a incantation declaration to break the binding of the spell casting. But why would you want to do this? Because the spell casting is all part of this binding and control system, and puts you at a lower level, and more chances of being wound in and controlled if you haven't broken your the agreements that are part of this. So I'm going to put on my website some resources about this. I'm going to do a, which will be like a mantra, like an affirmation thing to help break this, the bonds of this that you've already unconsciously tied yourself to. So this will be part of that. I'm feeling that I have so much information that's coming through at the moment, and it's kind of overwhelming because there's so many different areas that I need to communicate on, because I had originally thought my role was to teach you to become the alchemist, but really at this stage it's a bit too late at this stage to teach that. But depending on where your level is at already, because my the people that are already light-bodied souls, which means they're currently doing work already on the planet that is with regards to working with energy and healings and stuff like that. They would have already, they're at an easier stage to be understanding the alchemy than those that haven't even started to connect in really powerfully with their intuitive consciousness. So instead, what I've been getting today, my role is to give you as much help as I can to help you raise your vibration. That's really important, and to give you tools for you to overcome this. And so that's predominantly what this video is about, with a focus on this thing. Yeah. So because ultimately you are all sovereign souls of free will. So the free will comes back to breaking the binding, the spell casting, and as far as the declinations you've already unconsciously made to bind you in a lower vibration area that doesn't, it's harder for you to break free unless you break that binding. And I know some of you won't understand what I'm talking about, but some of you will. Hopefully you will. You really will understand what I'm talking about. But it's about free will. Of course, we've all got free will, but unconsciously some of us have given it away. Not understanding about the giving it away and how powerful this is to hold you down in limitation. Which means everything. It's to do with everything. It's to do with your abundance. It's to do with your health. It's to do with control. It's everything. Okay, so yeah. All right. And so this really is a test of all time to see if you can basically do it for yourself. It's the test. It's the test of basically taking back our power. You know, this spiritual war, as I mentioned before in the other videos. So I've been really looking at some work of, I've been reading, this is a guy, his name is Emil Malik, and he's from the CEO, CFO magazines. He does a lot of research and writing, and he's done a lot of research and writing regarding this virus. And it's, yeah, if you don't know all about it and you haven't really understood absolutely everything and what some doctors are finding and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to put a link below to his work because it's definitely worth reading, and it's such a big eye-opener. And I mean, I already knew about this, and a lot of people already know about this, but to read his work and his research he's done, and he refers to, you know, really great doctors and scientists. So I'm also going to put in down the bottom and write down what the things that the supplements that I was recommending to build your immunity, and the ivermectin, right? And I did have somebody say that some people can't get ivermectin, and we can't get it easily here because it's been banned, I think, in Australia, but we can get it through online through vets. We can get it like without a prescription. Pets and livestock to prevent to prevent illness, basically, and prevent toxins and yeah, virus, things like that. So I will write the name of it down, and I will even give the links if it's, hopefully this video doesn't get lost, but I will get the links that I have. And you can get it in tablet form out of China as well, on out of China from AliExpress as well, and I'll drop the link, the one that I used, and I'll put that down below. The reason why I'm doing that, I get no kickbacks for any of these. I'm just passing on what I've checked. I have checked these with my guides, and I will, as safe, right? Do your own research. This is not health advice, anything like that. Okay, I need to reintegrate that. But I've checked these as safe, and I will be taking these myself and sharing with my family. Okay, so that's to the therapeutics that that I'd already, many people recommend, but I would recommend it in my last video. So so somebody said they couldn't get Ivermectin, and they, as a message underneath, I can't remember who said that, but they said quercetin, and it is a supplement, and I checked this, and it is not the same as Ivermectin. I just want to let everybody know, if that's what you think. It's called quercetin. I'm sure it's good. It's just a supplement. It does not do the same thing as Ivermectin. Okay, and I've checked this because I can actually buy this quercetin here in Australia through a supplement store, vitamin health store, and but it's not going to benefit me, so what's the point? And I spoke to Spirit and I got no, so I'm going with Ivermectin, which is I've already ordered. It just takes, so I would recommend to order these and get them sooner than later, and get enough quantity so you've got supply. I would recommend that. Okay, so I wanted to share regarding the all of the V's, all right, all of them. And so just so you understand what you can do, how you can resolve this. So just from having the V, it's not the end of the world. It's not great, by no means it's great at all. So if you can avoid having it, then avoid having it altogether, which is ultimately what I'm going to try and do. Particularly for light-bodied souls, right? And who's a light-bodied souls, right? Who are they? Who are they that I'm referring to? I'm referring to people like myself, okay? Light-bodied souls are people who have worked in the spiritual healing realms already. They do alternative healings, things like that. They work with quantum energy already. They already meditate, connect to source, do some sort of work in energetic realms, work with energy, already intuitive, are getting dreams, quite awake, all this kind of stuff. But predominantly the people that don't have the pineal gland blocked. So they are who I'm referring to when I use the words light-bodied beings. Okay, so people that are currently walking this planet, that and a lot of you are waking up and you are like this, okay, light-bodied beings. Okay, so I'm going to refer to you as that, just to clarify. Okay, so going back to what I got today, this is what I got today. I've been doing this over the last couple of days, and it's just such a work in progress. It really, really does. It doesn't happen overnight, and it takes time. Okay, so I got that with the use of what did I say it was? Oh yeah, the Nova one. You know how I was saying that the Nova one is the safest, right? So it is, but it's not without, like, it still is going to, it can still make people ill. And as I'll come back to saying again, it all depends on where your vibration level is and where your immunity currently lies. Okay, so it's about that. So the next one I would say, if I had to recommend another one, it would be the one beginning with M. Okay, And so what I got for the M1 and the N1, the Nova, and the M1, you know what I'm talking about. You could take your, like this is before you go and have this thing, right? So before you go and have this thing, before you can try and put off making your appointment, or at least hold off for a month or 2 weeks at a minimum, okay? But if you can hold off for a month, even better, right? So with the M1 and then N1, right? At least 2 weeks I get of taking the supplements, the ones that I've recommended below, right? So that's 2 weeks of kicking in, of building your immunity to make your immunity stronger and higher. A month is better, or longer is better. But speaking to Spirit, and I don't know if Spirit comes back to me personally, but I was asking for everyone. But Spirit does refer back to me a lot. Okay, so I'm just letting you know there. So a minimum with the M1 are at least 2 weeks of the NAC, the vitamin D, the vitamin C, a liposomal vitamin C, the zinc, the B12, all good strong immunity, because without having those and going and getting it, this will attack and give you autoimmune disease and attack your immunity, and then cause illness and organ damage and failure. Yeah. Anyway, so what I got today was, you can combat it with at least a month, minimum 2 weeks, if you can't, but I would be trying to protect myself as much as possible, all right? So I'd give myself a longer time if I can. That's why I'm on my supplements, because if push comes to shove and I do eventually have to have it, at least my immunity is going to be stronger, okay? Like, get out and get vitamin D. Get outside and get vitamin D, as well as taking vitamin D supplements. We've been in winter here, so it's still a bit chilly, and we were raining this morning. It's nicer this afternoon, but I haven't been outside. Okay, so the vitamin D, really, really, really important. But you need that NAC as well. So you need all of them, all right? So a minimum of at least 2 weeks, preferably a month or more, of taking your supplements with the ivermectin as well, prior to going to get this, right? Will protect your 3D physical body, okay? And as well, approaching your appointment or going to your appointment with the intention of protection. Now, let me say this again. Going to your appointment, and most of you who follow my work do believe in a higher power, right? So I don't care what you use, whether it's your angels, whether it's God, whether it's your guides, whatever you use, call in their energy of protection. And if I was you, I would be already praying beforehand, during, and afterwards, if not like praying or a mantra, like doing a mantra of that you're divinely protected, and installing that into your aura. So you are, I would be doing that. Okay, so I'm going to have this, I'm going to have a whole thing about this. I'm going to try and write it and put it, hopefully I get time to put it on my website, so you can find it, all this information there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. So including breaking the spell casting, and an audio meditation, as well as a mantra prayer. Because all of that we're working in more levels. So you're going to be divinely connected. If you're asking, you're going to be divinely connected and protected. Okay, so that's just a given. Like, it's, if this is not meant to be the end of everything for us. This is just the test. This is the spiritual war at play, and this is the test of you finding your own strength and coming into your own free will and walking your path of mastery. So if you take it from that approach, you will be fine. You will be fine, okay? So that method works for the M1 and the N1. It does not work for the P1. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. I got no. Okay, I don't know what the makeup of these things are. These different things, these different ones. I don't know what's in them and the makeup of them, but all I did is speak to spirit, and it's not going to work for the P1. Okay. It doesn't mean that some other things are not going to help. That's why if I was you, I'd be looking at scalar technology and different sort of quantum energy stuff to help with the healing, because it is going to be profoundly helpful. And I'll say more about that in a minute. So the other one, the A1, right? The A1, you definitely need 4 weeks or more of the supplements and the ivermectin, is what I got from Spirit today. Now, everyone's different. This is not health advice. There's no guarantees. Just like it's not financial advice. When I was talking about crypto, I don't know. I am just trying to get things that will help and support. And this is what I got. And predominantly, I have this information predominantly selfishly to protect myself and my family and my children, and anybody who's open to it. So it would be very selfish of me not to share it, so I'm sharing it. So whether you think I'm quack or what, that's your issue. Okay, so and if you think all this doesn't work anyway and you don't believe in it, you shouldn't be watching the channel anyway, because no, it's not going to help, because your belief system is half the battle in this kind of thing. What we believe in, and if we believe in quantum energy and that it can help us, then absolutely it can. So yeah, so I think I mentioned that my daughter in utero had a tumor in her liver, and I had Reiki, and so I had a miracle healing experience. I didn't do it, a friend did it for me. And this was going back 22 years ago. So I'm a believer in quantum energy and the ability of the healing arts. And, it's just, there's no proof that it doesn't work. And the thing is, anything like this, it is about your belief system and your faith. It's about your faith. It comes back to your faith. This is the test. Again, I'll say a test. It's a spiritual war, and this is a test. Tricky. All right. So what I got, and when I was talking about, so yeah, the guy that I recommended, this researcher, and Emil Malik, he's a researcher. He's not a scientist, but he's written a lot of articles regarding this everything, and it's really, really, really enlightening. And one of the main things that he's also saying is our immune systems have proven to be more than 98% effective against the virus, and death rates are just over 1% of confirmed cases. Okay, the vaccine's effectiveness is less than our own immune system, and even worse against the new variants. And so he has concerns of the antibody-dependent enhancement, which is ADE, antibody-dependent enhancement, has started to speed up the spread of the infection. And I get yes, definitely. Spirit says yes. And it's true. We're seeing it now in hospitals all around the world, from countries that are the highest vaccination rates. Yeah. So it's because this virus has mutated. That's why. And there's no damn bloomin' I nearly swear. No one of these stupid bloody things that can keep up with the mutation of the virus as it is, because it's constantly changing all the time and it's getting stronger and powerful. So the only way to combat this is to build your immunity and build your own resonance to make it higher, so you're not as affected and you're more protected. So I want to say that again. And so the more you do work with prayer, mantra, the guided meditations, affirmational meditations and things like that to retrain your conscious brain, so it retrains the mental, it ends up retraining and building new neural pathways in your mind, which changes your whole physiology out of fear into stronger strength, raising your vibration, changing just on all levels, throughout all levels. And you won't be as emotionally energetically affected by what the mainstream media is telling you. Okay. So, I mean, of course, we're all human. We're human. We have emotions, and we can't completely close off from them, especially what's happening around us, and especially what the unfolding is going to be. But if you start doing this work now, it's gonna help you. All right. Okay. It is the therapeutics, along with raising vibration, that can definitely, with intention, is the way to overcome this. And I got that confirmed today from my guides. And I'll come back to that. This is like a test of your own. You can't sit on the fence anymore or be ignorant or stick your head in the sand and go, well, I haven't decided yet. It's like a wake up, like wake up, it's crazy. Yeah. Like I talk to people and they go, yeah, I sort of know all this stuff, yeah, but I'm still a bit undecided about it. I'm still sitting. It's like, well, how is that serving you? Really, how is that serving you? It's not. Your ignorance is not serving you. But anyway, going back to the thing too, that we cannot, we can't, those that won't listen, we cannot push our opinions or make them listen. We just have to let them go and let them be. It's not their path. They're not ready. You're here for a reason. It is your path. You're meant to come through this. This is given. It's a given. It's a given. You're meant to come through this. All right. It's just this is like your learning, and this is like your test, which will help you come through this so much more empowered. You'll come through this as a magician, the alchemist. You'll be so much stronger. All right. And without this learning and this because it empowers you, you can't help anybody else. So, and I think one of the best ways to do things in life, even on this 3D plane, is to lead by example. One of the best things you can do is lead by example. Quiet example instead of yelling at the rooftops or trying to make people, you know. Anyway, so back to the only two ones is the M1 and the N1, okay, that I get, right? So one beginning with M and the other one beginning with N. We don't have the N1 here. We can't get hold of it here, but I know the M1 is coming to Australia. So I say to my fellow Australians, if you can wait and hold out, then do that, okay? Otherwise, the A1, I got, you need to have been taking the sups and everything for over a month, and then it depends on your makeup. It depends on your genealogy, and it depends on your immunity levels already. And don't think it'll affect you straight away, but it will affect you in about 6 months to a year's time. Over the long length of period of time, we don't know how this is going to affect us. And so this guy Malik says, is the P's second vaccine dose increasing infection and death rates for people under 50? And it really is, time will tell, but I expect my worst fears may soon be confirmed. The P and the M ones, second booster could give dangerous consequences if a person becomes infected with the virus. So it's just topping on top of the poison that you're already putting in. That's why there are already many people sick in a hospital after they've already had this, right? So you don't know how you're going to be affected, okay, after having this. So the supplements and the ivermectin are so important if you want to come through, all right? Because later, otherwise it's going to be organ failure, breakdown down the road, okay? Yeah, and so it does say the risks include the possibility of autoimmune disease, which, yeah, it's just autoimmune disease. It's like, it's a breakdown of all your system. It really is. Antibody-dependent enhancement and even death. And this is from this writer that writes about and has done all this research. Controlling the pandemic has nothing to do with vaccinating people. Our own immune systems have proven to be capable and effective dealing with the virus. First, by preventing the virus from setting in, and secondly, when it does set in, our immune systems defeat the virus with a greater than 98% recovery rate. And these bloody things, on the other hand, are responsible for creating variants that can kill us. All right. So, and I actually think when I lived in Bali, I might have already had it, and I didn't even know, because this was going back in, because don't forget, I used to live in Vietnam, and Vietnam bordered China. This was going back in January last year when it first broke. So there is a possibility. I just remember being very, very ill for 48 hours, and then I came through it. But I was on supplements then. I've been on supplements for a really long time, and that was going back from my experience before when I had adrenal fatigue, and that's going back 4 years ago. Okay, so that's why I've always kept up my supplements. So it's interesting. It's really, really interesting. And I'm delivering this. I just so believe that I'm delivering this for a reason. I had my experience, and I have this knowledge for a reason. And it is to try and assist as many of you that are willing to listen. Yeah. Okay, so So don't think you're going to be scot-free and come through this even after having these things, right? You will be better off than most, though. So what I'm saying regarding that, if you have low immunity and you take these things that I'm recommending, and then you go and then you will still get ill. Okay, you'll still be rendered ill, is what Spirit said to me. If your immunity is higher, you won't be. You might have some side effects. You won't be rendered ill. It will affect our DNA, though, is what Spirit said to me. Yes, it will. It will affect our DNA. So, but with the help of this information, we can help overcome it. So, and I wanted to say for my light-bodied beings, they are the ones that we worry about DNA more than anybody else who's not working in the quantum realm. So I strongly suggest for you, because it still blocks you. What it does is it blocks the pineal gland. That's what it does. If I was to have it, it would block my pineal gland. I would still be able to intuit, but not as clearly, and that would be blocked. So the ways to combat that are to work in the quantum realm, because I did get from Spirit today, if we work on a quantum level, we can be restored to our original soul's helix. So we can do that from the quantum realm with quantum energetic healing, okay? And you would need the help of somebody to help you do that kind of work, unless you do it already, that kind of work, okay? But it won't. So for those that have the M and the N, or the other one, the A one, and I don't know what, yeah, I mean, I don't advise having that A one or the P one, but where was I? Your DNA will be affected. It can't go back to what it was, because it cannot be restored to what it was, okay? But I don't, and I think you'll just be, I need to look more into how over the long term it's going to affect the population. And this is what we don't know. And this is what this writer goes on to write about. How will this affect the population in, say, 10 years time? You know, what are the overall effects of it? And this is the part we don't know. Are we going to have all these zombies walking around? And there's possibility, yeah. And I don't mean zombie apocalypse or anything like that, but a lot of really controlled unconscious people that are not connecting into a heart space anymore. Whereas at the moment, or prior, even 6 months ago, people were connecting more into a heart space, heart intuition, right? The heart intuitive. Yeah, so that is the worry there. All right. So moving on. So, oh yes. So the DNA. So for my light-bodied beings, my light-body family, right? And you know who I'm talking about now, because I've explained that before. And so on a quantum level, you can take all those therapeutics and along with your protections of prayer or mantra or meditation and calling in your guides, your angels, creator, for protection, and continue. It's not a one-off thing. Nothing's a one-off thing. You don't go and go to the gym once and then expect to have muscles. It doesn't work like that. This is continual work. This is daily work. Okay, it's like anything. All right. So, well, that's a reminder there. But you can work on the quantum level, my light-bodied family. you can work on the quantum level to get your DNA restored to its original soul's helix. You can do that, and that is really that's the only way to go. All right, and that'll be really, really helpful, because that'll help you reclaim anyway. And a lot of us have already had it done as well. We understand our original DNA anyway, and so we want that back. We want to be unlimited. So and then along with that, to as far as the pineal gland, yes. As far as closing off the pineal gland, because this is what this will do to my light body family. It will close off your pineal gland, which will affect your ability for healing, because that's the plan. Okay, it will affect your ability to work in the ethereal realm with quantum energy. So you're going to have to look up various different ways and ask for protection regarding your pineal gland. But also I would recommend this, and it's Herataki, and it's an Ayurvedic herb. So there it is there. It's called Herataki, and I'll put a link to it in the bottom. It is a great detoxer. That's what it does. It basically detoxes the body and gets rid of toxins in the body. But I'm not saying it's going to get rid of the V toxin, but what I'm saying, it is going to help decalcify your pineal gland, so you'll still be able to get your allow source to come through and to still work in the realms that you work in, okay, and to still get your intuition on to stay on point. But so I've been taking this for a while, and this is organic. This is from a place in Australia, but I'm sure you can get it many different places, and you can go into some health food stores might have it. But Herataki is an Ayurvedic herb, and mine I just get in powder form, and I make up my own capsules, and I take about 4 capsules in the evening. And as I said, it's a detoxer, so in the morning you wake up and you detox. But it does decalcify the pineal gland. Yeah, so I'd look up other things that will help you decalcify the pineal gland too, to help with that. But I know that this is one, and I've spoken to Spirit, and so this is something that I've used for maybe about 3 years now, 4 years, 3-4 years. So yeah, so I don't take it all the time, but I'm going to start to take it all the time, like going forward more. But yeah, very helpful for that. All right, especially if you want to become more intuitive, very, very helpful. Okay, so I think that's all I've got there. I have to say again, remember, this is not health advice, and this is, yeah. If you have other things that you would like me, like I'm talking, not talking crypto here, I'm talking like therapeutics that you would like to ask me about, or you just put a message in the bottom, and or something I may check if I think it's relevant. Like I did check that quercetin. I just got from Spirit, it's not strong enough. It's not strong enough, the quercetin. It's a supplement and it's not strong enough, is what I got. And it does not help the vax shed the spike proteins. Yeah, so I don't understand. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a scientist, so I don't understand how this all works and everything like this. And part of this is the learning process for me, because I'm doing a bit of research and I'm learning a bit, and then I'm asking spirit, and then my guides are telling me yes or no to things, the things that will serve me most. And I do not think they are guiding me wrong. I do think they want for my better upliftment. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. If this resonates, then you'll roll with it. If it doesn't, then I understand. That's fine. Yeah, so I think some people have asked me. I'll try and, as I do my own research and I get more information, I'll do more videos. But I did want to do a video. This is going to be too long if I do it now. But I did want to do a video about the passing over of our loved ones. I'll have to do it another time. I can't do it now because I know that this will get even longer, and it's long enough as it is. So I have to leave it there. But I will do another video about that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm going to say, keep your vibrations high. I am thinking about you, and you're in my prayers and in my blessings, okay? This is a time for us to all come together and unite, and this is, believe it or not, the stupid craziness is for our empowerment, to stop us sitting on the fence, to stop us thinking we have this easy cruisy life. I know not all around the world we have an easy cruisy life, but this is the test of ages. Okay, so let's just keep our vibes high, and yes, and send your love out into the world. This is one of the best things you can do right now. Connect into your heart intuition and send your love out into the world. It's one of the best things you can do. I do want to do more videos on this kind of thing, or I will look at doing some group. I am looking at doing some group meditations, alchemic meditations that will shift people's energy, people that are not used to working in this realm. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. I just haven't had the time at the moment. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Namaste, blessings always.